got a
Just calm
reputation in this
down.
business.
Just calm down.
You're where you are because of what you are. Fuck
man.
yourself.
Oh, man.
You're not gonna live to be my age, cocksucker.
What happened out there?
This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com, and today I'm going to come clean with a boom shoot version of the story of the backstage altercation I had with former WWE and WCW wrestler, the genius leaping Lanny Poffo, who's also known as the brother of the Macho Man. It took place in Florenceville, Bristol, New Brunswick, about 9 hours away from my end of town in Ottawa, Ontario, where I live. It has a population of about 1,600 people. So considering we had 100 people there out of 1,600, it's not bad considering. But yes, it was a horrible turnout. This is Main Street. This is all there is. A bunch of abandoned buildings, abandoned motels, a house with a fucking fire and no fire trucks. Lanny worked for Great North Wrestling very often since its inception in August of 2007. We're about to have our 13th anniversary show in August 2020 in Ottawa. So more information on that is at thehannibaltv.com. But Lanny Poffo was there since the beginning, off and on. But this was the first time he actually wrestled me. He was a fan of mine. He was a big pusher of me to get in the WWE. He really wanted to see that.
He shouldn't even think about promoting. He should be thinking about wrestling in the WWE. Unfortunately, there is so much politics, it's possible that he may never get his break. Well, there's nothing I can do for him. I was there in 1985 through 1994. That's just shy of 9 years. Great North Wrestling, I love working for them, but I just think it's a little bit pathetic when a man of this ability is not utilizing the WWE, and it must be horrible for him to have to watch television and see wrestlers of inferior ability.
But he basically wanted to have a series of matches with me potentially. So he said, I know it's a bad crowd, but treat this as if you treat any other match. Let's see if we can pull off a great match and do this as a feud. There was documentary cameras there recording me over the course of a couple years for a documentary called This is Hannibal that was released in 2013 and actually won 3 awards at the Los Angeles Movie Awards that year. There was cameras around, documentary cameras. The closest airport was Bangor, Maine, I believe. So he had flown into Bangor, Maine, and they legitimately lost his luggage. And I think this town was a couple of hours from Bangor, Maine. So he was not going to have his wrestling gear or any of his other gear. It just was not going to get to him. He was going to get it when he got back to the airport. So I came up with the idea. He only had his jeans and a shirt on. I gave him one of my shirts, a Newfoundland shirt that my parents had given to me. And I told him, let's wear that shirt and I'll rip the shirt off of you during the match, chop you. It's going to be a rougher match than you're used to having. And for the fun of it, for the documentary cameras, let's pretend you had an issue with me in the ring and you come back. And my first idea was for him to punch me, and then I would take it from there. We didn't specifically discuss in any more detail than that what we were going to do, other than he said, I don't want to punch you. He said, could I throw a working punch at you? I said, this will look like shit if you throw a working punch at me in a dressing room full of wrestlers. They're going to know you're working. I said, you have to hit me. So then we finally agreed that he would slap me and we would take it from there. We didn't tell the documentary people. We didn't tell any of the wrestlers other than the Honky Tonk Man. We didn't want him to freak out because we figured if he blew up, he might actually leave. And there was still the next night to wrestle. So the match happened. It was actually a stiff match, but there was nothing dangerous. For the people saying it was a low crowd that night, the match has something like 60,000 hits, and there's, I think, 3 versions of the backstage altercation video. So between the match and the 3 versions of the altercation video, there's well over 1 million hits for that situation. So for the people saying, oh, they suck, they're wrestling in front of 100 people. Well, over 1 million people have watched this match and backstage altercation from a town literally in the middle of the woods with a population of 1,600. So I would say we must be pretty good. The next day, we had our rematch, and there was no issues there. Although Lanny made it clear to me he did not want to have a very stiff match the next day, and he didn't even want to take any bumps in the match, which was fine. It was an interesting way to make the best of a bad situation, and it's now a notorious incident. And I actually, you guys could write in the comments if you agree with this. Is this the most entertaining thing Lanny Poffo has done possibly since he had his win on Saturday night's main event versus Hulk Hogan? He may not have liked how he came off in the video. He used foul language and stuff, but that was his choice. I never forced him to use foul language. We were calling it on the fly, and I think he felt that would make it more believable. I always kayfabed that whole situation to everybody, but now, literally 10 years later, chances of a rematch are nil. So there's no point keeping the kayfabe. May as well let it out there. The Lanny Poffo backstage altercation was a work.
Hello, wrestling fans. I got a little subdermal hematoma here. For those of you that are not geniuses or graduates of law school, I got a little capillary damage beneath the skin from one Hannibal. And I'd like to say, don't worry about it. It's from yesterday. Today was a totally different story. And I think yesterday the dial was past 10. And I think it was a tag team match today. And at my age, I can take in all the blessings I can take. Anyway, God bless you all. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.